Do you know, my friend, that each one of us is a dark mystery? A maze of conflicting passions and desire and aptitudes. Hello, friends and fellow bibliophiles. It's Kat of Kat's Novel Adventures, and that wonderful quote was written by Agatha Christie. And today's video is all about the mysterious plans I have for my Year of Christie. I am thrilled to finally be starting my Year of Christie, Agatha Christie that is. I really enjoy doing author projects. Back in 2020, I had a summer of Poe and I read several of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories, the creepy ones, as well as his one and only novel. And then in 2022, Kelsi over at Simon Slashers, she and I did an entire year of King. And we read novels and short stories by Stephen King and then watched all of the screen adaptations for them. And we had a lot of fun doing that. In fact, we just recently wrapped up our Year of King. And now I want to do a year of Agatha Christie. So I am not a stranger to Agatha Christie's work. I was probably around 16 years old. I went to visit my grandmother in Hot Springs, Arkansas one summer, and she would go to the Senior Citizen Community Center, and right next door was a library. So I'd go over there and I'd read while she was doing her thing. And I checked out a bunch of Agatha Christie books. I don't remember the titles, but I do remember that Hercule Poirot was in them. And I do remember enjoying them. Fast forward to 2022. My book club decided in June to read an Agatha Christie. We chose, and then there was none. This is a standalone by Agatha Christie and one that is usually suggested to people if they want to start reading her work. So I was very excited. I loved the book, great mystery, couldn't figure it out until it was revealed at the end, and decided at that point I wanted to try to incorporate more Agatha Christie in my everyday reading. Well, didn't get to read another Agatha Christie until December. And a friend of mine named Amy recommended Crooked House. Now this is also another standalone by Agatha Christie, and it is also wonderful. I also couldn't figure out who the killer was until the end. She is very good about putting lots of red herrings all throughout her novels. And in some ways, it's really pretty great because it keeps you guessing, it keeps you on your feet, keeps you wanting to read more. So at this point, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a Year of Christie. I had so much fun doing a Summer of Poe and a Year of King. I'm going to devote the year, not all year. It's not like I'm going to read everything in 2023 is going to be Agatha Christie, but I'm just going to try and read more of her work. Well, then I decided, or was trying to decide, how am I going to start my year? Like, what do I want to do? How do I want to go about it? And when my friend Rita, who lives across the pond in England, saw my 23 for 2023 list, she noticed that I was going to have a Year of Christie, which is number 16 on my list, and she told me about a book about Agatha Christie's life, a memoir, actually a biography. And it is called Agatha Christie, an Elusive Woman, and it was written by Lucy Worsley. Now, from what I understand, this was just recently published, I believe in September of 2022. So let me just tell you a little bit about it. It says, nobody in the world was more inadequate to act the heroine than I was. Why did Agatha Christie spend her career pretending that she was just an ordinary housewife when clearly she wasn't? Her life is fascinating for its mysteries and its passions, and as Lucy Worsley says, she was thrillingly, scintillatingly modern. She went surfing in Hawaii, she loved fast cars, and she was intrigued by the new science of psychology, which helped her through devastating mental illness. So why, despite all the evidence to the contrary, did Agatha present herself as a retiring Edwardian lady of leisure? She was born in 1890 in a world that had its own rules about what women could and couldn't do. Lucy Worsley's biography is not just of a massively internationally successful writer, it also is the story of a person who, despite the obstacles of class and gender, became an astonishingly successful working woman. With access to her personal letters and papers that have rarely been seen, Lucy Worsley's biography is both authoritative and entertaining and makes us realize that an extraordinary pioneer Agatha Christie was, truly a woman who wrote the 20th century. So I was very excited that she recommended this book to me because I was like, you know what? I am going to start my year reading this biography. So I started it in January, and just to give you a little bit of background about Agatha Christie, she was born September 15th, 1890. She died January 12th, 1976 at the age of 85. She was an English novelist and playwright who began her writing career when she was a nurse during World War II, which I find fascinating. So I'm very excited about learning more about the woman behind these mysteries, as well as reading more of her mysteries. Now, one of the parts of the project is I'm going to need your help. I already have 3 books picked out for the year, and I'd love to be able to read anywhere from 10 to 12 books over the span of 2023. So I decided to create a Year of Christie jar. So that's what I did. It's not anything fancy. I actually got this jar over at Target in the bullseye section, but it says Year of Christie. On the back it says Exploring the Works of Agatha Christie in 2023. And I've got a little cutout. Now, my guy is pink, and that's because I'm running out of colored ink in my printer. He kind of reminds me of Hercule Poirot. I don't know if it is or not. And then I have a little magnifying glass, and it spots a fingerprint. So I just thought it would be kind of fun to create a little jar, and then when I'm ready to read an Agatha Christie book, I can pick one of the slips of paper out with the title of the book on it. So I already have 3 in here because when I released my 23 for 2023 video, I had quite a few people comment on different things that I was planning on doing for the year. And 2 people made a comment, and then I got the other suggestion while watching someone else's video. The first book that I put in the jar was The Unexpected Guest. Now, my kindred spirit, Halco, put in the comment that he was currently reading this book. So I went ahead and I picked this one up, and I put this title in the jar. Then my friend, Retro Betty Reads, she was telling me about how this made her want to read more Christie, and so she commented on how she would really like to pick up The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. And so I put this title in my jar. And then I was watching one of Mitzi's videos. She is over at Mitzi Reads and Writes, and she mentioned reading 450 from Paddington. So I went ahead and I picked up that book as well. Isn't it beautiful? It has like foil on the cover right here. And so I was like, you know what? I've got 3 suggestions already. I'm going to put them in the jar and then I'll pick. But I think it would be really, really fun if you guys and gals out in the BookTube community would give me some of your favorite Agatha Christie books that you have read. So I've already read And Then There Was None, and I already read Crooked House, and I have these 3 already in my jar. But if you have another Christie favorite, please, please, please put it down in the comments, and I will go ahead, write the title on a slip of paper and who said the comment so I can shout you out when I actually do read the book. And then I can put it in my jar, and then when it comes time, I can go ahead and pick out what I want to read for the project. Now, I've also been thinking about trying to watch some movies or some television episodes related to the mysteries themselves, or if there are mysteries surrounding Hercule Poirot or Miss Marple, which I've never read anything with Miss Marple in it. And I would almost be tempted to even do a readathon later in the year, maybe around September, which is Agatha Christie's birthday month, and just kind of read some stuff, maybe do some movie watching, have some reading sprints surrounding it. I don't know. I think this project is going to evolve as the year goes on. And generally what happens with me is I get super excited about whatever I'm reading, and I just go off into a tangent and then want to create all kinds of extra, activities surrounding whatever I'm doing. I think it would be great if somehow someone had written an Agatha Christie cookbook or a Miss Marple cookbook or a Hercule Poirot cookbook. I'm not really into cooking or baking, more baking than cooking, but how fun would that be if you could do some sort of activity like that? But I think it would be fun, actually, to do anything that would make a Year of Christie more exciting. If you have any other suggestions of things that I could do during my Year of Christie, I'd love to hear that as well. Those are my preliminary plans for my Year of Christie. I'm very excited and I cannot wait to read my first Christie book. However, I do need to finish reading the biography by Lucy Worsley first, and then I'll start picking out my jar. But remember, I only have 3 titles in there, so I really would appreciate if you would leave some titles for me in the comments below, as well as any other activities you think I would enjoy doing as this mysterious year unfolds. I do appreciate you being with me. I love when you stop by, I love when you comment, and I really hope that you'll join me in my Year of Christie as well. In the meantime, stay amazing, be adventurous. Also, stay your dark, mysterious self.